Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey everybody, this is Andre Sokla and I'm late. I am very, very late into this thing here now. I was supposed to start at the beginning of the match. It's a hastily put together watch along. It's obviously halftime. Inter Milan taking AC Milan. I'm literally trying to fix all the stats here while we're doing this. And I have to be honest with you, I had a whole bunch of technical problems, but everybody has been telling me you do streams for all these countries and all these games. Why don't you do it for the club that you love? And you know what? I'm going to do that. So like I said, I missed the entire first half because my stream is set up the way I stay. So unfortunately, I had to find a little bit of a workaround. So, it's halftime now, everybody, if you're joining in. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a Trinidad and Tobago. There's a Trinidad and Tobago Inter Milan fan club. And like I said, this is a very hastily put together live stream. And these are the formations from SofaScore. So I will ask everybody who's joining in, because I know this is very last minute, who's joining in, to let me know what you think about what's going on in the game. It's not just limited to the Trinidad and Tobago fans, but the Inter Milan fans from all around the world that can speak English. And I have to be honest with you. I'm very, very pissed off that I didn't get to see the first half properly. So I'm just going on stats and, based on what I'm seeing with the Inter Milan guys in here and what they're saying. And it looks as if, they're not very happy with Sucic, if I'm pronouncing him correctly. As you can see at the formation from SofaScore, usually I load up the cool graphics as well, folks. If you're just joining in, this is a hastily put together watch along. I have to watch this game in a very irregular way, because I do have my subscriptions, but it's not here. It's apparently limited to the household. So I'm trying to do that. So thankfully, some of my Inter Milan homeboys helped me out. So it's halftime, folks. 0-0. I did not see how we're playing. So people in the stream right now, you have to let me know what's going on until the second half resumes. So I'm going to take a quick look at the stats here. 53% possession for Inter Milan. Well, love, by the way, folks, in case you're wondering. 42% for Milan, and in the shot map here, I'm seeing total shots 10 for Inter, 4 for AC Milan, forcing 2 saves from Milan, corner kicks 4, fouls 4-5, etc., blah blah blah. The lineups, Get More, what's happening, Get More? Hey, I hope all is well. Get More, I'm supporting. I'm doing a live stream for my team. I usually do it for Trinidad and Tobago and so on, but this is the first time I've been asked to do it. People were saying, Andre, why don't you do Inter Milan? You love Inter Milan. And I said, what, why not? But unfortunately, folks, I had some technical issues, and the first half, I decided, I was going to cut my losses and just go straight to halftime. And then, everybody else could catch me up on what's going on in the game right now. So like I said, I don't expect much viewers for this because I did not advertise this. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Inter Milan fans all over the world. So like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, and, just let me know what's going on. So Inter Milan, let's talk about the formations really quickly. Thank God for SofaScore here. It's 3-5-2. And AC Milan is 3-5-2. So it's Sommer in the back. Bastoni, Acerbi, Akanji. In the midfield of 5, it's DeMarco, Sucic, Shanalogu, Barella, Augusto, Lautaro Martinez, my boy, and Thuram. AC Milan, they're playing pretty much from what I'm seeing here, the identical formation. So they're playing 3-5-2. Maigan, Tomori, Gabia, Pavlovic, Salamakers, Fofana, Modric, Rabiot, and then up front Pulisic and Leao. So Get More, what's happening? Okay, I have to play SFL Pro Clubs League. I'll pop back up when I can. What is that? I actually don't know what that is, Get More. Liz Figaro 5151, welcome to the live stream. Are you a AC or an Inter Milan fan? I am an Inter Milan fan for life. I've always been an Inter Milan fan. And like I said, it's halftime. I'd missed the first half because I had some problems setting up. I thought my stream would work in the studio, but apparently my Disney Plus subscription that I'm using is limited to household. So apparently I could watch Aladdin, but I can't watch Inter Milan. It's good to know if I'm traveling, folks. And like I said, I'm about 15 subscribers away from 3,000. So, I know usually we usually do Trinidad and Tobago watch-alongs and weekly episodes, but I did promise to do this. A lot of my, viewers suggested this. I'm going to try this. Come on, AC Milan. So Liz Figaro is an AC Milan fan. So, oh my goodness, I guess today we are rivals. Liz Figaro, you can tell me why you like AC Milan, and maybe I could pull you over to the Inter Milan side. So, I know, folks, if in case you're wondering, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I know there's a lot of viewers from all over the planet for this one. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a part of the Trinidad and Tobago official Inter Milan fan group with the president, Vishesh, and these guys, and they're all over giving their comments. So they're probably looking in the game. They did not even know I was going to do this. So I'm going to keep tabs on the game until it starts back. So like I said, I cut my losses. I decided I was just going to start at halftime. So in terms of attacking momentum, according to the charts I'm seeing here from SofaScore, it seems like Inter Milan dominated in terms of the momentum, and Milan had a little bit of a let's see here, a little bit of a period of low pressure. I'm not seeing the exact time here, but definitely Inter Milan dominated. So I'm going to keep an eye on my stream here. So it's halftime, folks. So everybody's joining in. This is a last-minute stream. You all know me for the Trinidad and Tobago streams and, the watch-alongs and also our weekly episodes. But, people suggested to me, why not do this? So I'm doing it. Because usually when I watch an Inter Milan game, I am not a nice person to be around. The analysts go straight out the window, folks. Completely out the window. So, next time, depending on how this goes and how I feel and, based on the support, I will continue to do this. For as much Inter Milan games as possible and select big games. Of course, for the bigger games that are not Inter Milan, I'll be in full analysis mode. But today, send it to all your friends. Let me know what's going on. And, I'm seeing viewers starting to come in now. And what do you think? So, like I said, I'm catching up with the stats here because I didn't get to see much. I only saw like this couple minutes of the first half. And, it looked like it was pretty okay. But from the stats here, it seems as if Inter is okay. From the communication with the Inter Milan guys here, they're very happy. But, when are we happy? When are Inter Milan fans happy, folks? When are we happy? So I know some people say they're going to jump on and jump back in. So I'm going to pull up some stats really quickly. I have a lot of windows up here. So let's see now. I'm going to see the Serie A table here for the other teams as well. And, the implications of this. So in the standings right now, of course, Roma is on top with 27 points, Inter with 25. So, winning today with Thoros, 1 point ahead of Napoli. A draw is not the worst result, but we want to take advantage of Napoli slipping up a little bit. Bologna, Milan, 23 points. So we always want to beat them no matter where we are in the table. So if we can keep them at 23, that would be great. Of course, a win is what we want. A draw is not the worst result in the world. We will stay in second place, I believe, if I'm looking at the table correctly. But of course, I would love if we could win always and pull ahead of Roma. But also, I just love beating AC Milan. Let's be real here. Let's be real. So like I said, folks, this is a hastily put together live stream. As you can see on the screen here, I have the formations 3-5-2. Folks, you can tell me in the chat here if I heard about Dibu Martinez possibly going to Inter Milan. That would be great. And folks, let me know what you think about Kivu and how he's performing for Inter Milan and as well. Because while we're here, I'm actually looking for one of my some equipment I have here which I can't find. But let me know what you think about Kivu and how he's performing. So it's halftime, folks. Like I said, I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna restart the game at halftime. So I have my cool graphic on the screen there. Next time I could load the formations in real time and have some cool graphics. And of course, if it's just joining in, folks, Liz, Getmore, and everybody else, you could subscribe and follow us on all these social media things. And like I said, I don't expect too much viewers for this. But if you are watching all over the planet, we're from the Inter Milan official fan club of Trinidad and Tobago. There's a whole bunch of us here. I'm part of that group. And, they're all having their little chat inside there. So I hope they join in and give their thoughts. But, this is to me, any game against AC Milan is a must-win. A must-win for me, and I did not see. So I'm hoping people join in the live chat here. If you see me looking around, it's because I'm looking for my switcher that fell down. So, like I said, folks, it's 0-0. For those of you who saw the game, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the performance so far. I'm trying to find it and I don't know where it is. That's crazy. That's the problem when you put these things together so quickly. That's when you put this together so quickly. I don't know where it is. I cannot find it. But so far, it's still halftime. The game hasn't resumed as yet. And of course, being an Inter Milan fan, it's very frustrating. Let's take a quick look here, folks. I just want to make sure I get my stats up. So yeah. So let me know where you're watching from, folks. If you're joining in, Inter Milan fans, wherever you are. You know, this is today. It's all Inter Milan. That's all I care about. This is the massive matchup. We all talk about this all year. Being an Inter Milan fan is definitely crazy. I think it's responsible for a lot of my gray hair. Like I said, I hastily put together this stream, folks. I hastily put this stream together. And, you know, for English-speaking Inter Milan fans, you know, let me know where you all are. I did not do this as a very planned event. It was very much last minute. It was suggested to me in the EXTV episode last night. I don't expect there's not a lot of Inter Milan fans in Trinidad and Tobago, just a handful of us. And apparently they are the most introverted people on the planet. So they usually hide in their homes and don't come out. And I understand why. So I'm seeing the players just kind of doing their halftime warming up on the pitch here. And, you know, just doing their thing. So I'm guessing a couple minutes will resume. But folks, I don't know what went on in the first half. So if there's anybody out there, I see Allegri's coming in. You know, it feels strange seeing him back there. But I mean, you know, AC Milan went through all those coaches. I think even with all their problems, they did okay last year. Inter Milan, we all know what happened last year. Seeing Kolarov and Kivu there. I think Kivu has done a good job so far, in my opinion. I think he has, you know, he came in, you know, he's a club legend. He worked with the youth players. And I think, you know, I'm seeing a different style this time around with Kivu. So the jury's still out on Kivu. I like him so far for what I'm seeing. But, you know, it's just a couple months in, and everybody who follows Inter Milan knows the season can go all over the place with Inter Milan. It can go all over the place. So the players are coming out on the pitch now, warming up, stretching. So it hasn't started back yet. But, you know, I did not see the first half, folks. For the viewers just joining in, let me know what happened in the first half. If you're not from Trinidad and Tobago, let me know where you're from. Like I said, I usually do Trinidad and Tobago live streams with huge success. And people ask me to do one of these. They said, why don't you do one with your team? And I'm going to do that. And the first thing I will say is that usually I have, you know, the full analysis mode on, but with Inter Milan, that's not going to take place. That is not going to take place. I'm going to be full fan. I'm going to be emotional sometimes. I'm seeing, you know, a little halftime discussion here with Augusto. And I genuinely can't say how this game is going to go because I did not see the first half. I really didn't see it. And I'm going to take this opportunity to see if I could find my my switcher. It was literally right here just now. Where I could switch in between graphics and so on, and apparently it's vanished off the face of the earth. So I'm hydrating, folks. So the game hasn't started yet, so I'm gonna step away for a few seconds, and when it starts back, I'll jump back in. So for those of you jump in, I'm seeing the players coming back in. So give me 1 second, folks. All right, folks, and we're back, and the kickoff is about to take place. The players are lined up, and I'm going to do my best to try to get this right. And we're back. The second half has begun. And, folks, I have to be honest with you. I am genuinely a little bit nervous here, folks, because from what I'm seeing in some of the live streams here, and a lot of people are not happy. So we're back. Hope you guys are hearing me. And, I see Inter Milan is on the attack here. From the get-go, Thuram out wide. Slipping at the final minute. So we're definitely on the aggressive moment. I haven't seen any changes here. So Thuram, Lautaro, I think everything's the same. I'm not seeing any changes. Are you guys seeing any changes? So like I said, Thuram going on the attack immediately. So we're 52 seconds in. And, I mean, I can't say much so far, but, I really want us to get this victory over AC Milan. Last year, they really got our number last year. And, it's something that really bugs me. I'm just adjusting the time. It's a little bit out of sync here. So that should be it. Yeah, I think I may be a couple seconds ahead here, but that's okay. So AC Milan, I'm not seeing any changes here, folks. So let's see how it goes. In the first half, I heard some people complaining as well. Bastoni doing his thing here. Inter Milan, of course, and this is one of the things I noticed a little bit different. Even though the style of football, the core is essentially the same, where we keep possession, we pull players out, we do that ball. A quick release of Lautaro up front. Doing well to hold the ball up. Losing out in the end there. So there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect there. Carlos Augusto, the Brazilian left back. Well, he could play both sides. Doing well to recover the ball here. So pushing up the field slowly. Let's see if we get a good early start. So Inter Milan passing the ball around like we usually do. Bastoni creeping up to the half line. Trying to distribute. I'm not going to do commentary like a commentator. I'm pretty much a fanboy today. AC Milan putting pressure, forcing back to Sommer. So you could see Leao, trying to put some pressure, selective pressure on us. But if it's one thing, we did get a lot of practice with this style of football with Inzaghi. Kivu, even though we are playing essentially the same formation, I think, we are quite comfortable in being a bit more aggressive this time around, a bit more proactive. DeMarco, Bastoni, Milan doing well. A nice threaded ball by Bastoni there, and a cross in, but wasn't enough to trouble Maigan. But that was an impressive through ball. I think it was from Bastoni. My stream glitched there for a second. I don't know. You guys probably saw it better as well. So far, Inter more on the aggressive, taking initiative here. Milan trying to resort to counterattacks, I guess, to release Leao and Pulisic. And all the attacks are going through Bastoni. As we know, Bastoni likes to roam forward as well. He's one of those ball-playing centre-backs. So once again, he's actually kind of trying to... This is what I like about... I like this style. I like different styles of football. But, Inter Milan are not afraid to draw players out. And it pulls them towards them and then create those quick 1-2 attacks. That goes up until the midfield and attack. And, you could see here, same as before, pulling the AC Milan players in. And I'm sure Allegri may have known this. And, playing out the press is one of Inter's strengths. Some nice combination play here. I'm hoping he's seeing the Barella out wide. Yes, Barella is in. Oh, well blocked by... Who blocked that? Who was that? Okay, that was some pretty sleek passing and decision making there. I think it was Augusto laying off the Barella, but I can't see which player got the block on it. So in case you're wondering, I'm wearing my Javier Zanetti 2010. It's now a corner for Inter Milan. And like I said, this is a very random watch along I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do this experimental thing. I don't know if I'm going to do this because I'm so passionate about Inter Milan, where we're going. And I started at halftime, which is a disaster, folks. So whipped in, across. Oh, thought it was in there for a second. Modric, of all people, trying to start a breakaway. Inter doing well to recover. DeMarco is now on the other side. So we are taking the initiative, and it was kind of hilarious to see Modric trying to initiate an attack and still having that little boost of speed. And folks, a lot of people like to say midfielders are slow, but sometimes it doesn't require out and out pace if you have the right setup. But bursts of speed, Mkhitaryan is a good example. So Inter very comfortable in possession for the first 10 minutes of the second half, which seemed to fly by. AC Milan trying to put the pressure on. I think that's Fofana. A nice marauding run there by Susic, I think. Thuram out wide. Trying to find a precision pass into the box there, but AC Milan. Kivu looking like Inzaghi on the sidelines doing his gestures. Bastoni. Marauding forward. Thuram inside. Saved by Maigan. So we are creating chances. Barella, of course, fuming like he always does. Trying to get that pass in there. But of course, he figured Thuram should have passed to him. So I'm happy with what I am seeing. Inter Milan are attacking, but anybody who watches Serie A, if you don't get those goals, football in general. So AC Milan going down the wide areas as expected, cutting in. DeMarco getting a foot to it at the last minute. It was almost a very clever ball to Pulisic. And of course, all the guys are weighing the... I'll explain that in a while. So Thuram I'm seeing the replay here. He tried to curl it in. Barella is fuming. Kivu is doing the... Oh, that's okay. And Allegri is doing that face he always does. That sort of... I need to go to the bathroom look. That's what's going on. So like I said, folks, I don't expect a lot of viewers on this because I pretty much did this very last minute. And, we'll see how it goes. My first Inter Milan watch along. I actually did one years ago, but I didn't really have the gear to do it and so on. But, EXTV has been doing well. AC Milan, of course, naturally going down that. DeMarco with a very bizarre clearance. But was it offside? Salamak. Okay, so I'm seeing it here, the replay. It doesn't look offside. The ball is crossed in. DeMarco. Okay, so maybe it was offside earlier. Bartesaghi. I'm seeing Gattuso in the crowd. He's probably a very stressed out man right now. For Italian fans, I'd love to hear your thoughts right now on the qualification and the playoff spots. For I almost said Inter, for Italy. Getting smashed by Norway. That's what's going on. I can't imagine 3 World Cups in a row without Italy. That's just crazy. Is it a consequence of the problems in Syria? Who knows? That's a whole other discussion for Syria fans. I'm sure if this was an EPL game, I'd have a boatload of fans in here. So, 52nd minute in the Milan derby. It's 0-0. Inter Milan, at least in the second half, because I didn't do the first half. Creating a lot of chances. A little bit of a dangerous thing here. AC Milan with a rare attack. There's no way that's going to score. My God. Oh my goodness. You see, football is a cruel game. Pulisic scoring against the run of play in the 53rd minute. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I'm so disgusted by that. Oh, gross. That's what I would say. I felt like that was so avoidable, though. They basically penetrated directly down the middle, hit the ball wide, took a shot, and pretty much Sommer did his best. So I'm looking at the replay here. It was one in midfield. Nothing very particularly fancy. I don't know what Acerbi was doing, but he watched the wrong way. I think if he got the direction correct. So Inter started aggressively. So I'm seeing the replay here. Acerbi, for whatever reason, was looking in the wrong direction. He allowed his shot to come off, and Sommer laying it perfectly off for Pulisic. Come on, Sommer. That's oh my God. Oh my goodness. Now I'm wondering if I should even have done this live stream. Oh my goodness, just seeing the replay makes it worse. I'm getting vibes of Handanovic towards the end of his career. I figured as if Acerbi is gesturing that everybody should be concentrating. And they didn't. It looked like they fell asleep for a second. Because when they got the ball, Acerbi was kind of facing the wrong way. If a defender, 3 guys are attacking, you'd want to face the direction of your defender. Because it was a 3 versus 3. And, that shot troubled Sommer and now created that opportunity. Oh, jeez. So now Inter Milan, of course. I can never have a normal weekend with Inter Milan. 1-0 down, folks, if you're just joining us. Jeez. Absolutely annoying. Absolutely annoying. So, of course, now AC Milan is all confident. And it really annoys me when, I could see Inter Milan trying to play proactive football, because then the argument will be, hey, when we attack, we concede goals. And we have been, this Inter Milan is not as watertight as it has been in the past. The backline is aging. I mean, Bastoni is young, but Acerbi, I think a quicker defender, as much as I like Acerbi, could have been able to at least trouble that shot. Now, in a lot of ways, he thought, well, maybe, okay, he pushed the player wide. And I think it was Salamakers. He did very well to take that low shot, but I think Sommer should have been able to do a lot better there. So now, of course, Inter Milan chasing, AC Milan trying to control the game now. The dynamic is in their favor now. But there's a lot of time to go, folks. A lot of time to go. 55th minute, AC Milan, Pulisic getting that goal. Let me know your thoughts on that goal. Should Sommer have done better there? Come on, man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, Inter Milan, we all know what happened in the Champions League last year. They were going for 3 trophies and they just ran out of gas. Oh my goodness. So obviously the momentum has changed a little bit. Luckily it was offside, I think. Was it? AC Milan, it was a narrow offside call. But obviously, AC Milan are playing with some momentum now. They scored that goal. And the thing is, they just need to do what they're doing, because they've done it for the entirety of last season, where, hey, listen, let Inter Milan attack, and then we just take them on the break, and, eventually we'll get a goal. And it has worked for them like clockwork in all the recent fixtures. So Inter is going to want to break this. And the thing is, Inter Milan, outside that moment, were not playing badly. And that's what is infuriating, that little moment of concentration, because it looked like it came out of nothing. So Mkhitaryan, AC Milan closing us down. We're probing once again through Bastoni. We're obviously going heavily down that left side. I think AC Milan knows this. And, a lot of Inter Milan fans won't mention this. We do lack that player with that spark, Alexis Sanchez type player, who can, create something from nothing. To kind of release his striker. So once again, Leao in a dangerous position, going down that favorite side of his. Bastoni doing very well to retrieve them. It's obvious what Milan's game plan is, and it works. Folks, it works. As annoying as it might be. DeMarco down the left, whipping in across. Cleared. A long-range shot. Oh, wow, that was a thunderbolt. Was it by Mkhitaryan? Sucic, I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Sucic? Or Sucic? I don't know. Bastoni. I think that's Barella, sorry. Back to DeMarco. Come on, DeMarco. Thuram still has the ball. Bastoni. Oh my gosh. If it's one complaint, I have a lot of complaints about this Inter Milan side, is that Barella, Bastoni, a lot of these guys, when they do get into attacking positions, they just blast it. There is no composure. Barella, he always gets into those beautiful attacking positions, and he's a great player overall, but, then they just blast it. So now VAR is saying that the original call was onside. So I'm seeing a referee's angle. Oh, my goodness. Acerbi messed that up by his positioning. It's interesting, this camera angle. Akanji trying to get back. But he should have gotten closer to that guy. I figured he thought, he had the defender facing sort of away from his goal. He could get that shot. I don't know. It's annoying. Very annoying, folks. Oh, my goodness. What is happening here, folks? So, according to the goal assist, Pulisic is on 48. Lautaro. Is that all time? It's in Italian. I think it has to be Italian. And Retugi, who is, an Argentine-born now, naturalized Italian. So come on, Inter. Every big team we played against last season, if I remember correctly, we fumbled. So Inter has to get back that winning mentality. And like I said, we do miss that little magic number 10, Trequartista. Sanchez was kind of that guy for a little while. We had players. Barella in the box here, folks. Closed down by 3 Milan defenders. Great ball. Oh my goodness. That should be a corner, ref. Listen, if there's one thing I'm going to complain about is the officiating in Serie A is utter BS. How is that a foul? Lautaro's obviously, I'm seeing the ref cam and Lautaro's up in the referee's face here. And of course there's a yellow card. And let's be real, folks. Serie A, corruption. So I'm looking at the replay. Barella doing great to release Augusto. And what's the yellow for? What's the yellow for? I don't understand. What is the yellow for? Nonsense. So apparently Chanalogu gets a yellow. Apparently maybe it was a foul off the ball. But I don't understand what that call was. That was ridiculous. And folks, anybody who's watched Serie A, of course I'm in my Inter Milan clothes, so people will say I'm being biased, but some of those calls are crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to load my background here. So Milan in the wide areas are dangerous. Leao trying to be clever. Augusto doing well. I like that Augusto could play on both sides. From my angle, sometimes Augusto and Barella look the same. Leao, getting shut down. Barella trying to create an attack quickly. Lautaro. Sucic. DeMarco. Barella is in his zone. And that's the thing, Barella. I love Barella. I think Barella is a proper champion. But, that final, if he could add that, refine his goal scoring, he would be such a... It would just go to a next level. Sometimes his temper, which, he kind of just loses his mind. He seems always mad. DeMarco whipping in another cross. Blocked. Not well cleared. So come on, guys. We have to create something. It's having all this possession and not getting any goals is frustrating. I saw people complaining about Sucic in the first half, but he seems to be more involved. Barella trying to release DeMarco. And this is where AC Milan is dangerous. Once again, releasing Leao down their left side. And he has that annoying grin on his face. God. Playing for the ref, trying to get a dive. And this is, folks, AC Milan obviously are very aware when Inter Milan pushes up. They have gaps with that back three when the wing backs overlap. So when they go attack those spaces and cause problems. Akanji on the ball. So now they're going on more the right side. Augusto, who can play both sides, which is very good for us. I think Augusto is a very useful player for us. So I'm seeing Bastoni gesturing to Sucic to move, but he's not moving. Bastoni running into the box. Very clever ball. Ooh, that would have been a super libero-like goal if Bastoni got on the end of that. The delivery was great, but, unfortunately... The ball is falling to the guys we don't really want it to fall to. The guys that are not exactly clinical in front of goal. Bastoni coming back onto the onside position. Inter Milan keeping a momentum. And this is what we have to be careful about, folks. We've seen this before in previous seasons. A nice dink in there. Barella doing well. Showing some flair. DeMarco. And the thing is, we are getting the ball in the box. But AC Milan is doing enough not to deny us clear shots. Oof. What was that, folks? There's a claim for handball. Lautaro checking on Maigan, being a gentleman, a proper captain, folks. I love Zanetti, and I think Lautaro's a great captain. So that may have been offside if we scored. Because when Barella did that beautiful flick there. And that's the thing. You see, this is an example of what I'm talking about. Barella has that skill. So Bonnie is coming on. So is he coming on for Lautaro or Thuram? Let's see. I don't have the real time, so I'll have to update the squads in a little while. So I'll change that in a little while. So, wow, Lautaro's coming off. Wow. I'm not sure I like that substitution. I mean, Bonnie's great. I mean, Bonnie, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this substitution. I think Lautaro is the kind of guy you keep him on. But yeah, the coach knows something. Lautaro didn't seem to complain. Maybe it's a fitness issue. Let's see. He's being a captain. So come on, Bonnie. Let's see. So Bonnie is on. We're 65 minutes in. And AC Milan are 1-0 ahead, which is, of course, is not what I wanted. And, of course, Inter Milan will never give me an easy time when I'm looking at their games. So I guess they're going for two players of similar characteristics. I noticed last year Thuram was always favored to stay on a little bit longer than Lautaro. And then towards the end of the season, Thuram, is he onside? Yeah, he is offside. And this is one of my concerns. Maybe he is going for pace. But to me, Inter lacks that little magic player to release the players. And, oftentimes, Bastoni and Barella have to kind of take in that role. Bastoni runs deep into the opposing half. Barella as well. So AC Milan trying to slow things down here. Controlling the midfield is clearly not their game plan. And when they do it, it's not for long. So right now, they're trying to, I guess, to slow things down. To kill some of the momentum for my boys. Salamanca is very energetic on that side. Milan clearly favoring that left side. Sommer, I don't know, man. Sommer is great, but sometimes he does some did he really need to punch that? Oof, that was very close. A far post cross cleared by Akanji. I think Sommer made that way more complicated than it needed to be. So let's see. That was the initial cross. Akanji getting it. Because if he did not get that, Leao was free and it looked like he was on target. So AC Milan with a rare corner. No more Argentines on this. Is how Inter will feel. I wish Inter Milan would get some of my Argentine homeboys back in there. AC Milan with the corner. And oh my goodness. Sommer looks planted to the ground. If somebody takes a shot there, I don't think Sommer is going to save it. AC Milan still annoyingly keeping possession. Oh my goodness, folks. Like I said, folks, if you're just joining, I started this at halftime because the entire first half setup was a disaster. But Milan in control. Oh my goodness. So Milan now getting a little bit more control. You see, Inter Milan dominated without a doubt in terms of momentum. So you see, this save, that's what Sommer should have done. Fofana took a shot and he caught the ball. And of course, I'm not goalkeeping. Sometimes it's very difficult. I used to goalkeep a long time ago. And I can tell you it's easier said than done. The camera is zooming in on some annoying AC Milan fans. So Lautaro is off. And Bonnie, good striker. But, I think maybe Lautaro should have probably stayed on for a couple more minutes. Because I don't think Lautaro was a problem. I think getting that little number 10 Trequartista type Enganche, whatever you want to call them, player, Inter doesn't have that and it shows. And sometimes, Shanalogo and Barella try to play that role. Barella, of course, is always angry. Felt the ball should have come to him. So we're probing once again. And I've seen this for all the times we played AC Milan last season. We would dictate the play. We'd pass things around. And Milan are very content and comfortable doing that. And why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Thuram getting the ball across here. I had a glitch in my stream there. So DeMarco, Susic, a player's down. Does it look like Bonnie is down? Oh my goodness. He looks like he's down. I hope he's not just rolling around for the sake of rolling around, but he definitely looks like he is in pain. Is that Bonnie or Thuram? He looks like he's in a lot of pain, folks. The thing is, if AC Milan were to go on a breakaway, we would be one man less. And then we would have no excuse. So what's happening? Okay, Thuram looks like he's in a lot of pain, folks. Like anguish. This is like he is tapping the ground. Oh, goodness. I'm seeing the replay here. Ooh, that does not look good. I'm hoping it's just an ankle twist, but that replay. So he slipped on the ball. Actually didn't slip on the ball. Oh, of course, they're going to show the goal that AC Milan scored. My God, Sommer gave him that goal. They loan out Carboni, what they expect. Carboni, yes, correct. Great young player. Why did you keep him? You know. Carboni probably wants to play for the Argentine national team. So he's probably wasn't going to get much playing time. Thuram looks like he's in a lot of pain, folks. A lot of pain. So I'm thinking if he knew it wasn't like a... Oh, is it a penalty? Ooh. VAR check in progress, folks. What's going on? What's going on? So VR is looking at it. Is it a foul on Thuram? I would say yes, because I'm seeing the same screen that they're showing, which is kind of cool that they're showing what the referee is showing. So after Thuram releases the ball, I mean, I could see why some people would say it's harsh. The Inter Milan fan and me saying it's a penalty by the rules if you want to go by the book. We all know that student in class who annoyingly goes by the book. Wow, this is interesting. This could go both ways, folks. Come on, ref. Give us that pen. Come on. Come on. Gosh, I don't know. What is he saying? It's in Italian. I don't know what he's saying. I have to learn Italian. So I think it is a penalty. Yes. I see the AC Milan players are not happy. Plus a yellow card is given to Pavlovic, sorry. What am I saying? So, Thuram getting a penalty for us, folks. Oh my goodness, what is this on my screen? Let me take that off. What is that on my screen? That needs to come off. That needs to come off. What is that? So, is this a pen? It's a pen. It's a pen. It's a pen. Penal, of course. I would love if Messi goes to Inter Milan. So, Pavlovic getting a yellow. And we needed something like that because we were not creating clear chances. So, you know, Thuram's ability to run at players. So, Chanalogo, who has a very great record. I think he only had one penalty miss. And you're seeing in the stats here. So, he has great stats. He needs to score, folks. We need to get this AC Milan monkey off our back, which is losing to them all the time, folks. And like I said, folks, if you're just joining us, come on. Chanalogo. Maigan is kind of drifting towards his left. So I guess he's trying to get Chanalogo. Wow, a lot of mind games here going on. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh my goodness! No! No, no! No, man. My goodness. What is it with this AC Milan team? Chanalogo never misses. He missed once. My God. Maigan played you. He played you. My goodness. Now, if Lautaro Martinez was on, but then again, to be fair, Chanalogo takes all the penalties. The thing is, he totally, like, listen, I used to play, I'm not a professional player, but I do analysis for a living. I did goalkeep for a while. And, you know, I used to practice a lot of spot kicks. And, you know, he gave him that side. Like, he telegraphed that. I saw it. We saw it in the replay. I mentioned it. You could go back into the stream and see it. Yeah, man. Normally, I would use foul language, and I'm trying not to use it, but that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I am so pissed off. That was a chance to really... We have 15 minutes left. We haven't created anything really in this entire game. DeMarco with a shot, but you know, that's kind of how it's been going for us. We get down the wings, we get in the box, it's cleared. Now, DeMarco probably should have cut that back to Sucic. Sucic. Why does it look like my stream glitched? Or is it that we're doing the same attacking play? So Bonnie going down the left side, taking on some players. Yes, my stream glitched. My stream went back to about 30 seconds, folks. So I'm going to refresh it now. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So, of course, my stream is glitching right now. Of course, it's going to glitch right now. So, let's see. I'm refreshing my stream, so it's back now. And we are heavily attacking down our left side. Susic breaking in, taking on a whole bunch of players. No way, he should have passed the ball. He took on about 4 players, but all AC Milan, we've been doing this all game. They allow us to get into the penalty box here and close things down. I kind of knew he was going to miss, and because of how Maigan positioned himself. Like, I would have guessed that direction, and he did. So, of course, you know, this is going to be probably one of those games where we dominated and lost. 15 minutes left, folks. At this point, I'll say we'll be lucky to get a draw. We'll be lucky to get a draw. If we get this. Ridiculous. You know, that was our chance to kind of change the dynamic in the game. Because we, like I said, we've been getting down the wings, getting into the box, but nothing. And clearly AC Milan knows this. They know we need to do enough. And that's why you need that magical play. And to be fair, maybe Sucic read my mind. And, you know, he's trying that. So, AC Milan for Fana. You know, God, he represents everything I dislike about AC Milan. Because they keep beating us. He's cocky. Drawing a foul. And, you know, this is where we see the character of this team. This is where we see the character of this team. Cherby. I'm silent because I'm angry, folks. You know, I don't think we've been creating enough clear-cut chances. But right now, like I said, I'll be very happy if we get a draw. I'll be very happy if we get a draw. I don't think we've done anything wrong per se. But Zelensky is on. Zelensky. Now, folks, a lot of people like him. I don't think he's really done much for Inter so far. Maybe he's one of those players that will eventually click. Maybe he does something in training that we don't see. AC Milan making their subs right now. So I will update, you know, the squads on the other side of the screen the next time I do this. I don't know if I'll do this again, folks. I really don't know. It really depends on if the Inter Milan fans really come out and support me. Which they usually, you know, Inter Milan, my Trini boys, you all just sit in your house and hide. Come on, be some real fans and come outside. You know. My goodness. My goodness. So it's 77 minutes, 78. We're at the 78-minute mark. I don't know how much extra time we'll probably get if I have to estimate because of the VAR decision. Maybe about 3 to 4 minutes. Because he didn't take that long. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'm saying a minimum of 3 minutes. Actually, it could be 4 because Thuram was kind of laying on the ground injured. So when they kick the ball out, so I'm saying maybe 3 to 4 minutes by my estimate. So we just have a little under, maybe a little over 15 minutes. I'm calculating the extra time. Inter Milan once again stressing me out. I wish we could just, you know, break this AC Milan. I don't want to lose this game. Last year we got a draw, I think, in our last game. We can't seem to really break that hoodoo. I mean, I would put, like I said, folks, I would consider a draw a victory right now. So what AC Milan is doing, they are allowing us to get down the wings and get that penetration, and they close us down, so there's no direct shots. And of course, then they try to release Leao. And of course, with them being in the lead now, you know, it works in their favor. This is why I guess like Thuram in a lot of ways emphasize what it is we need to do. Those players that could take on players and create magic and force a foul or something, which we got and we blew it. So Bastoni, long throw in. goodness. This is not highly analytical of me. Bastoni out wide. Not a very good cross. AC Milan literally parking that red and black bus and playing for the breakaway. Allegri football. I mean, they've done it before and it works. Why not? And in Inter Milan, you know, we've embodied this style of football, which is very good when it works. But AC Milan, you know, like most tactics, there's always a counter. And to be fair, while we are creating chances, it's not enough. It's not enough. Thuram. Once again, AC Milan. This is how the first goal was scored, but this time it was snuffed out. They were a bit more sharp, which they should have done for the first goal. DeMarco marauding down that favorite left side. Is that Sucic or Zelensky? Beating his man. Impressive. Final ball. So clearly these guys have some skill. They could take on players. But, you know, AC Milan is allowing them. So, for example, he beats... It's not Fofana. Is that Fofana? Very cleverly nutmegs him. But then, at least we get the corner. Oh, wow. I'm seeing Bisek. You know, Bisek is a nightmare, but he's very good in these kind of situations. Oh, boy. The ball fell to the far post to Akanji, and he just didn't have enough legs on it. Let's see that replay. So it goes in. Oh, my goodness. With a good connection, Akanji just had to poke it towards... Oh, my goodness. He ended up just not getting a good connection. That would have been definitely at least a direct shot on goal. So I'm seeing some cool stats. Sucic, 10.7 kilometers. Chanalogu, 10.6. Pulisic. This is looking kind of grim, folks. Of course, I will stay to the end because I'm a crazy Inter Milan fan, but my God. My goodness. So folks, I said I did this at halftime. I did not do this at the beginning, which would have been ideal. Inter trying desperately to get back in. DeMarco. The majority of our attacks have been down DeMarco's side. Interestingly enough, when we did get the penalty, it was down our right side. DeMarco is on the left, sorry. So Barella looking at, of course, Milan has that shape set up. They have that 5 across the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus even more when the midfielders drop in, tucking in. So we can't get in behind. And if we do, they close in threes. So, you know, we of course the ref is going to call that. No, he's not. Okay, strangely enough. So, you know, we have to be quicker. We need to have that player that could take on players. Possession 62, AC Milan 38. That's to tell you how much we've dominated them in terms of possession. But, you know, the metrics that matters is a goal. And Milan is perfectly content to sit down here and comfortable in that position. And, you know, if we scored that goal, I think AC Milan would have been very okay with a 1-1 draw. But, of course, now they could snatch that 3 points. Barella trying to create spaces. Far post. Nobody read it. Thuram reacting a little bit too late. I figured if he reacted a second sooner. But Maigan, you know, turns into Superman. So Esposito is coming on. So I'm guessing Thuram is probably coming off. Oh, my goodness. Folks, if you're just joining us, 83rd minute. Inter Milan desperately trying to get an equalizer. Having a penalty saved. Chanalogo, who never misses. And you know, I kind of knew. I saw what the keeper did and he fell for it. He absolutely fell for it. He should have hit it hard and low or up into the corner. But, you know, I saw the mind games. It looked very dodgy. So DeMarco playing like a champion here. The ref is calling for something. What is it, ref? So Diouf, who I'm not a huge fan of so far, is coming on. And I think Esposito as well. Barella, I don't think Barella should have come off. Because I haven't seen enough to convince me. Acherbi coming off as well. So are we switching to a back four? Is that what we're doing? I'm seeing the 4 signal by Diouf. Because with Acerbi coming off, Esposito's in there. That means either Thuram or more than likely Bonnie is going to play like a wide or like a 4-3-3. More than likely. Could be a 4-3-3. So I'm trying to figure out what the back four is going to be. So Augusto, DeMarco, Bastoni, Akanji, more than likely. That's right. So I think it's a 4-3-3 we switch to. Inter playing all their cards. Loftus-Cheek coming on. Another guy that came across from the EPL. So Leao is coming off. So I guess they're trying to shore up the midfield and try to stifle Inter Milan. And AC Milan is going into let's clutter the midfield mode. If I'm quiet, it's because I'm running low on energy, folks. Inter sucks the energy out of me. So Akanji, I think. Is that Akanji? So DeMarco. I don't know if this tactic is going to work, but they have to try something. So one of the accusations people had against Inzaghi is that sometimes he would get his subs wrong. He would take too long. What do you guys think about Kivu? What do you think? Zelensky looking like Barella there in his posture. So Milan once again adjusting their formation accordingly. Thuram has definitely pushed out wide as I suspected. So that means Thuram and Bonnie will be flanking Esposito. So we're going to try to aim for crosses into the box. Is that a foul? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of this guy. Let's take a look at the replay. He does a lot of fouls. Is he going to get a yellow for that? Rabiot, my goodness, Rabiot. Is that a yellow? Okay, he got away. My goodness, folks. For the few people that are in the live stream today, like I said, this is a last minute stream. I don't expect it to have a lot of viewers. But, wow. This is a real problem. So, with about 3 minutes left, it's not looking good for Inter. It's not looking good for Inter right now. I don't think Inter is creating enough clear chances. They're getting into the wide areas, and Milan are doing enough just to close them down. So Kivu has played his card. Nice combination play here. The guy I don't want on the ball has the ball. He takes a shot straight at the keeper. Probably should have been a bit more patient. But, you know, a player like, you know, Maigan, when he's in form, you're going to have to come with something very special. So he cuts in, a gap opens up. I figured maybe a through ball would have been a better option. But, you know, Kivu is trying something. So it's offside here. Inter's going to have to move quickly now. Come on, guys. Move with some pace. Bastoni clearly understanding that. Zelensky. Akanji. Come on, guys. The clock's ticking. So Inter Milan, you know, to be fair, have been on the front foot. Thuram using a lot of skill here, taking on two men. But the problem is, the way how this Milan is shaped, they pretty much have parked the bus. They have parked the bus and they're going to counterattack. And I can't exactly blame them for that. You know, Inter trying really hard with some nice combination play. Once again, the guy laid off to the top. Shot! Oh my goodness. This is what I'm complaining about. We always do this. We really lack those composed guys. I mean, I think Lautaro, and I know a lot of people criticize him, is our only really composed striker. That was one of our first clear shots. He stops, aims, and just blasts it over the bar. I see Barella is complaining, but he does the same thing. Oh, come on, Bonnie. A little bit of composure. I see Allegri is warming up a sub. I see Zlatan and the Judas in the crowd there. Gosh. You know, I like Zlatan generally, but, you know, I did not like his attitude towards Inter when he left. And then, of course, we won the treble. We all know about that. Handball for Inter. You know, he left. Mourinho begged him to stay, and we won the Champions League. And then he goes to AC Milan. And then he kicks Materazzi in the chest. I mean, come on, man. He's a competitor, but geez. What a Judas, just like R9. Okay, so Inter Milan it seems to be like this formation is creating some opportunities. AC Milan is very okay pushing our players out wide. Esposito saying it should be a corner. Is it? No, it's not. Of course we're not going to get a corner. Let's see the replay. Yeah, I think unfortunately they're right. I can't argue because the replay would prove me wrong anyway. Channel logo is probably, you know, I didn't like his attitude. So there's 5 minutes of extra time. So I'm going to update that on my score thing here. Where is it? Where is it? Extra time, 5 minutes. So that's supposed to be on the screen, folks. So the last 5 minutes, I would be very happy now if we manage to get a draw somehow. But it's looking less and less likely. Our strikers left home their shooting boots today. We're hardly creating chances. We are getting up to a sitting point on the pitch and AC Milan is shutting us down. So we're out wide, trying to pass the ball a bit quicker, switching to a 4-3-3. Trying to stretch the ball to stretch AC Milan, but they don't need to commit too much. You know, committing to players in the box there. Like I said, trying to create gaps. And like I said, they're going to have to pass the ball. Taking on his player. Well blocked. We still have possession. And of course, the problem with this is, but you know, it doesn't really matter now if we lose 1-0 or 2-0, is that we could get sucker punch in a counter attack. And this is where AC Milan is going to try to release the ball. Trying to draw a foul and release a counter attack. We're still in possession. Zealand's crossing it in. Oh, my goodness. And that's the thing. This has been the repeat. And psychologically, this can't be good for Inter because you're thinking, what can we do to score? You know, getting the penalty and missing what must have done huge psychological damage. Like AC Milan are hanging on, folks. They are hanging on. But doing just enough where we can't get chances. Thuram trying to get a shot in. Inter trying to quick 1-2s. Bonnie kind of making a mess of things there. Thuram, I think Thuram is out of gas. He doesn't want to drop back too much. And of course, AC Milan doing what you're supposed to do. They're going to go straight down the corner flag with Loftus-Cheek. Probably drawing the foul. Wasting as much time as he can. Laying down on the ball like an ass. My God. My live stream, I can say that. Goodness. So they did not get the free kick, interestingly enough. So we're going down. Bonnie. Obviously, he's been put on because he has pace. Taking on his players. Blocked in by 2 Milan players. That should be a corner. Come on. That should be a corner. Ref. He completely put the ball out of his own, on his own. If this is a goal, that's crazy. Come on, ref. You had to see that. You had to see that. Allegri is fuming on the sidelines. I don't know why. But, you know, those little calls. Come on. So we're 2 minutes left. My first live stream is for Inter Milan is going to be a disappointing one. Attacking down the right side. Bunch of step overs that were useless in the end. Forcing a corner. It should be a corner. Right, great. So we have a corner. I think this might be our last chance, folks. This might be our last chance. Wow. Perhaps the internet connection not being set up today was probably a blessing in disguise. I should have not done this stream because I'm not in a good mood, folks. Whipped in. Oh my goodness. AC Milan just doing just enough to get the ball out. They are just hanging on, folks. And that's to tell you, you know, that's, you know, while Inter Milan were superior in terms of possession, you know, they got that one. In fact, that was probably their one real chance. I think they maybe had one other chance. So we're approaching the 94th minute. Bastoni whipping it in. Oh my goodness, a handball. It is a handball. The ref didn't call it yet, but it is a handball. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, I thought maybe, unless there's a fitness issue, Thuram with some bad control, which let him down in the end there, and he knows that. So AC Milan is going to run the clock down. What a terrible result this is going to be. Terrible result. We have a couple seconds left. AC Milan, of course, is going to milk it as much as possible. I can't say that Inter played badly. It's just, it's ineffective. Milan has a tactic that works. And, you know, I think this is why AC Milan suffers, because you can't play like this for an entire season. So you may get the bragging rights in the derby, but you can't win a Scudetto like this. And that's it. Milan has won, completely pissing on my weekend. 1-0, a goal from Pulisic. Oh my goodness, what a joke. What a joke. What a joke, folks. In the end, AC Milan winning 1-0. And let me just read out the stats for you all, folks. Let me read out some of these stats here, because I'm very pissed. 64% possession. 64% possession. You know, in fact, let me see if I can pull up. Let me put this on the screen for you guys. I'm going to do this. So let's see. I'm going to try this now. I'm going to pull this up, but whatever. In fact, no, I'll do that next time. 64%. 20 shots. It almost feels like the Trinidad games. 20 shots, folks, versus 7. And you can see on the shot map here, you know, it's in and around the... let me see if I can... I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. So I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to do this very quickly, but I'm very annoyed. So I'm going to put that up for you guys very quickly here. But this is what a ridiculous thing. But I want you all to see these stats, folks. My God, what a huge disaster. From SofaScore here, we have the stats here, folks. So there we go. Should be up any second now. I'm going to take the formations off, of course. But I want you all to see what I'm seeing. Alright, so it should be up any second now. So there we go. There we go. So you're seeing, folks, if you look on the screen here, look at these shots. Look how many shots we got. All these are shots, and look at AC Milan. And this was a wide shot here that the keeper saved and Pulisic scored. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And look at the stats. Look at the stats. 64% possession. But, you know, look. All our shots here. This is a goal. You know, obviously that's a different view. You know, it was kind of wide. You know, we had a couple shots on target here. And then we missed the penalty. And if you look at the momentum map, let me see if I could do that for you guys. That's actually going to be difficult, but I'm going to try that as well. So let me see if I could do that as well. Look at the momentum map. We're doing a lot of stats. I'm doing this in real time, folks. Look at the attack momentum. The green is Inter Milan. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that here. Look at this. There's nothing from AC Milan here. There's 0-0. There's a little spike here. That's when they scored the goal. This is where we saved the penalty here. This is where the goal was scored. They had a little breakaway. But nothing. Absolutely nothing, folks. So as it stands now, we stay. We drop down to 4th. Wow. We drop down to 4th. Even if we got the draw. So now Milan is in 2nd. Napoli is 3rd. Roma is... So now we drop down to 4th. What a complete disaster. What a complete disaster. You know, for all my Inter Milan fanboys out there, I'm sure they're very angry. Not the greatest live stream. This is probably going to be a hilarious highlight reel with me throwing a tantrum. But now, all of a sudden, we plummeted to 4th. We got the worst case scenario. I said a minimum of a draw would have been okay. A win would have been perfect. And of course, in typical Inter Milan fashion, we got down there. You know, I mean, I literally don't know what to say. The play of the match from SofaScore is Maigana, as you can see, 9.0. Can't blame him. He saved the penalty. That penalty was telegraphed, folks. It was telegraphed. So like I said, this is my first watch along. I'm not in a good mood because my team lost. Like I said, if you want to continue to... we usually have different content. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. But, you know, Inter Milan is my favorite team. I don't know why sometimes, because they drive me crazy. And unfortunately, we lost 1-0 in the derby today. We dominated in all stats except the one that matters, which is scoring goals. I think AC Milan, while they may have the bragging rights, they can't play that kind of football for the rest of the season. Truth be told. Of course, I'm sour because we lost. But, let's be real. If Milan keeps playing like that, they're going to drop points. It seems like they step it up against us and then eventually they fall apart for the smaller teams. Inter Milan needs to be able to beat our competitors, which is Milan, Roma, Napoli, and, it could be Juventus if they get a good run going. But, with Napoli falling up on paper, one of the stronger squads, we should be doing better. So, folks, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, check out our EXTV weekly episodes. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. You could scan the QR code up there and get merchandise. We have a lot of cool content. Like I said, this is new. And, of course, even the stream was a little bit of a tactical mishap because, we started the game at halftime. So, folks, I'm going to wrap things up. I don't know if I'll do this often. It really depends on, the viewership. I know there's not a lot of Inter Milan fans in Trinidad and Tobago where I'm from. So, of course, this is new. So, like I said, folks, I think we messed up. I think we were not creating clear chances. I think, we need that little bit of a star player that, that number 10, Trequartista, that could, create some magic. AC Milan were perfectly content to just stand there and counter-attack. And it worked. And it has worked for them for the last 5 or 6 games. So let's take a look at the head-to-head here, folks. I do have that up on the screen. So let's see. Yes, so Milan 3-0. In the Coppa Italia, they won 1-0. And then before that, in the Super Coppa, they won 3-2. It's just they've had the better of us. And folks, I have to say this. I'm genuinely disappointed in how this game turned out. And, hopefully in the future we'll do more of these watch-alongs. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to head out. It's been a pleasure. I know there's not going to be much streamer, so those of you who are joining afterwards, you could check it out. And, of course, we'll be doing our EXTV episodes. I would have liked to have done the full game for this. Ideally, it's good to start maybe 20 minutes before. I will be doing more as the season goes along. But for now, we'll see how it goes. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to head out and go, punch a wall right now. So, folks, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If you like the stream, let me know. The Inter Milan fans in Trinidad and Tobago, they're out there. And, just let me know what you think. So I'll be heading out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to extvmedia.com. And excuse me while I go punch a window. Take care.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Extra Time TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe.